Hi there, and welcome to this 45th live tech Q&A session where you can ask me some tech-related questions, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. You can post your questions in the YouTube comments given below, and I'll take up those questions. Also, if you are on Twitter, it's a good idea to follow me on Twitter at Geekyranjit. So let's start this session. Already, I can see quite a few of you have posted questions, so let's start with them. And the first question was posted by Kamesh Kotwani. And he says he has a couple of questions. I'll just take some. First, he says, "Sir, I'm confused between Cyanogen Mod and Android. Is it another skin like HTC Sense or TouchWiz?" No, Cyanogen Mod is kind of a ROM entire, but they have modified it. They have taken the stock Android ROM, but they have added a lot of customization. Like, for example, the drop down has a lot more options. The settings options have a lot more options. So it's not a skin; it's a proper ROM. Okay, so the next question is, when are you going to review the HTC One M8, your primary phone? Yes, I'm going to review it. As you can see, just this week I have started to post again videos on this One M8, and soon I'll be producing my review on it. The third question he says is, what are your views about Cortana and Word key flow on Windows Phone 8? The Cortana is nothing but kind of a voice assistant for Windows Phone 8.1. Kind of Siri, I would say, and I've already made a video about it, so you can check that out to know more about it. I would say Cortana is pretty interesting, and it does have quite a bit of personality to it, and you can ask questions to it, and it works. For example, I have this Lumia 630 with it, and it is fun, I would say. For example, let's try it. Which is better, iPhone or Windows Phone? Let's see what it answers. It says Windows Phone. So it's fun. Sometimes it just displays the messages, but most of the other times it talks. For example, let me try one more. Let's see what it answers. Again, it's a bad idea to do this live, but let's do it. Who's your daddy?
Technically speaking, that'd be Bill Gates.
So
No big deal.
So as you can see, it is fun. It's quite interesting. For the first version, it works pretty well, I would say. So I'm excited about Cortana. It does a lot of fun work. I'll actually make a dedicated video about it. You can do a lot of fun stuff with it, and sometimes the answers that it gives are pretty funny. So that's Cortana. Let's move to the next question. This is Sandeep Singh. And again, he has two questions. The first question is, sir, any updates on the launch of Moto G LTE version in India? No, as of now, Motorola India hasn't hinted about it when they're going to launch it. Again, Sandeep, the thing is that LTE is not actually there in India, pan-India. It's supposed to be launched in the next coming months. So unless that is rolled out by major providers like Reliance, etc., pan-India, I don't think so Motorola would launch it. So second is, please check he's asking for a link. He has given us a link about Lenovo Y5110. Sorry, I can't check it. It's a live show, dude. So let me just move to the next question. Sidesh Pai, I just wanted to know what the class micro SD card is best for Moto E. Means like class 4, class 6, class 10. Actually, you don't need a very high class card for Moto E. Higher the class, the faster you can write. But again, this Moto E does not have any HD recording or stuff like that. So you don't need very high class cards. Even a class 4 or a class 6 card is more than enough. I had used a class 4 card and a class 10 card on Moto E. Both worked fine. I hope that answers. This next question is from the Sandeep Sai. Hi, good evening. Under rupees 30,000, which mobile you recommend for all kind of users, and which mobile you will select among these? He gives us some choices. That is Note 3 Neo, Xperia Z, HTC Desire 816, Xiaomi E7, and Samsung Galaxy S4. And okay, let me answer that question. Again, Sandeep, you did not mention this Nexus 5. My bet would be Nexus 5. Only con is battery life. But from your selection between the Note 3, Xperia Z, HTC Desire 816, and Xiaomi E7 and Samsung Galaxy S4, I would go with the Note 3 Neo. Next question he asks us is, why is the price of the Desire 816 increased to 26,000 on Flipkart? Originally, it was 23,000. Yes, I have also noticed that the price of Desire 816 has increased recently. I think so that's due to limited inventory. The local store also, I checked here from where I generally buy my phones, and they say that HTC is not releasing a lot of stock of the Desire 816. So it's just limited inventory. But I don't suggest that you buy the Desire 816 at 26,000. For that price, it's not worth it. Just shop around in local shops. I have seen that phone for around 23,000. I hope that helps. So let's move to next question. Gokul Krishna, sir, which UI is more quicker, Sense 6 or stock Android in Nexus device? By the way, the Nexus device will just come with stock Android UI. You don't get Sense 6 on it. Sense 6 is you get it with HTC devices, like these new HTC devices like One M8, Desire 816, etc. I found that even this Sense 6 that is on HTC devices is pretty fast, and obviously the stock Nexus is blazing fast. With Nexus 5, you get that. And second, how does Moto E is faster than Galaxy S5 in opening apps? Generally, with the Samsung phone, I can't comment that Moto E opens apps faster than Galaxy S5. I can't comment on it. It might be due to the TouchWiz bloat. Sometimes on S5 I notice, it's not every time. I notice, yeah, because of the TouchWiz, sometimes there is a little bit of lag. So, but definitely the Galaxy S5 is a way faster device than the Moto E. So let me just move to the next question. This is by Preetham. Lumia 520 versus Lumia 525 in terms of battery life and camera. In fact, I did not find a lot of difference in the camera performance between the Lumia 525 and the 520, both in terms of battery life and the camera. Again, both of them do not have any LED flash, and they have a similar camera. But if you have the budget, definitely go with the Lumia 525 because it has 1 gig of RAM. That way, lot more games and some apps are compatible on the Lumia 525. I hope that helps you. This is by Bubble Biswan. Sir, which one is better, Grand 2 or LG L90? And sir, tell me, will you review the Galaxy Tab S? Regarding Galaxy Tab S, I'm not very sure as of now. Between the Grand 2 and the L90, if I take price to performance into ratio, I will prefer the LG L90. But if pricing is not an issue, then yes, definitely you can even go with the Grand 2. It's a decent device. But I feel the Grand 2 is around what, 20,000, 21,000. At the LG L90, you can get it for 16,000. But if budget is not an issue, go with the Grand 2. It's also a nice device. Let me just take the next question. It's just scrolling. This is by Tamal Dhara. It's a PC related question. Hello Ranjit sir, this is my first question in the live Q&A session. Great. I have an old PC. Its motherboard only has 3 gigabit SATA ports. Okay, that means SATA 2 interface. I want to buy a SSD drive for this, but on your SSD drive nowadays supports 6 gigabit SATA port. If I put a 6 gigabit SSD drive in my motherboard, can it handle it or not? Is it worth buying a 6 gigabit, that is a SATA 3 SSD drive for my 3 gigabit supported motherboard? You can put a 6, let me just give you an idea for guys who are just thinking, what am I talking about? With SSD drives, we have it in multiple interfaces. The SATA 2 interface is up to 3 gigabit, and the new SATA 3 can go up to 6 gigabit. The newer SSDs, yes, they all support SATA 3, but your motherboard on your computer should also support SATA 3. You can use a SATA 3 SSD on a SATA 2 motherboard, but again, the speeds will be limited to the SATA 2 interface. I hope that answers your question. I would say if the pricing is not pricing difference is not much between the SATA 2 SSD and the SATA 3 SSD, go with the SATA 3 SSD. Later on, when you upgrade to a new computer, you can always use that SSD with the SATA 3 interface. I hope that info helps you. Let's move to the next question. This is by Chetaki Kumar. Good evening, sir. Kudos to your work. I have 2 questions. Do all Wi-Fi direct enabled devices are capable of Miracast, and can router be used for Miracast? No, not all Wi-Fi direct devices are Miracast enabled. I have noticed some Wi-Fi direct devices that are not Miracast enabled. Second thing is, it says that he's using a 15 megabit internet plan. We use 2 PCs in a home. What do I have to do to share the 15 Mbps equally? You just need to use a router. A standard router does not have load balancing, but if you want, you can get a managed switch They are a little bit expensive, and there you can specify at the port level what kind of speeds you want to restrict. So that's the option. But for home usage, I don't think so you require that kind of functionality. This is generally required at enterprise level where you want to block the speed per port or whatever. I hope that answers your question. This is by Harsh Nayak. Good evening, Ranjit sir. Can you please explain me what does 32 or 64-bit means, and where they are used, and what is meant by dropping of frames in graphic rendering. Okay, let me first talk about 32-bit and 64-bit. 32-bit, if your processor and your operating system, for example, on your computer is 32-bit, that means the addressable memory that it can access is up to 4 gigabytes. It's actually a little bit less than 4 gigabytes because there are some overheads. So if you plan to buy a new computer and you plan to have more than 4 GB of RAM in that, then definitely go with the 64-bit operating system. It can access a lot more memory, and generally 64-bit what do you say, operating systems are better if you are going to work on heavy stuff like video editing, 3D rendering, etc., where this extra memory can be beneficial. Also, in terms of dropping of frames, I think so you are looking this in gaming. Yes, when you're doing the gaming, etc., if your GPU, that is the graphic processor, is not that powerful, it can drop a few frames. So that is meant by dropping of frame. Generally, it happens with the combination of generally the GPU and the CPU is not able to provide the specified frames, then it just drops something, and that's why you notice some lag here and there. I hope that answers your question. This is by Sahil Sapra. Hello Ranjit, I hope you're fine. He says, and here are some questions by Sahil. What is the cause of heating on Xperia Z2 and the camera crashing during the day? It's bad engineering, I think so. Xperia Z2, I actually had I took 2 Xperia Z2s that is available in India, and I just wanted to say this: the Xperia Z2s that are being sold in India are different from the ones that are being sold internationally. The ones that are specifically being sold by Sony India do not have any 4G LTE. And yes, I just tested those 2 that were officially available in India and had this severe heating issues. And I have to say, that is one of the phones. I must have tested about 100 odd phones till now, more than 100 smartphones, and the Xperia Z2 heats up like crazy. It went up to 52 degrees Celsius, which is insane. I generally don't like phones which go above 42, 43 degrees Celsius, but the Xperia Z2 went to 52 degrees centigrade. So it heats up like crazy, and the heating is a known issue. Also, when you use the camera outdoors, after 5-6 shots if you take, it just shuts down. It gives you a message that it has shut down due to overheating, and you have to wait for about 1.5 minutes and then again shoot the video. So I think so Sony did a big goof up with this. They should have done a lot more quality control. And also regarding the 4K, the Xperia Z2 has 4K, but I was not able to record more than 1 minute 20 seconds or so of footage with 4K. It used to just shut down due to heating issues. Yes, so Xperia Z2, specifically the one sold in India, does have serious heating issues. Second thing he asked, do you recommend? No, I don't recommend the Xperia Z2 as of now, because even in the camera department, some of the functions that it had were laggy and it was slow. I test a lot of flagships, and when I compare them to the other flagships, I was a little bit disappointed with the Xperia Z2. So I simply cannot recommend that phone as of now. So let me take the next question. Some people are asking me about 4G in India. It's not yet launched, so can't comment about the speeds, etc. This is by Ahmed. Good evening, sir. I love your videos. How was your experience using the Windows 8.1? Can you make a separate video with its new features? Yes, I will be making a dedicated video actually with the new features of Windows 8.1. I'm actually pretty happy with the Windows 8.1. You have the slide out tray, you have that Cortana voice assistant, and the biggest advantage I would say here, it is going up, what do you say, it is better implemented that Android, is that yes, we have a SD card slot. Now from the settings, you can just set the preferred location to the SD card, and all the games, heavy game, whatever apps, directly get installed to the SD card. So yes, though this has limited internal storage, I just added a SD card and I'm able to install apps easily on the SD card. So actually, I'm pretty happy with this Windows 8.1. It's a huge upgrade compared to Windows Phone 8, in my opinion. And yes, I will be making a dedicated video about it. So let me just move to the next question now. And the second question again, he asks, what is your primary phone? My primary phone is this HTC One M8. I'm just loving this phone. I'm using this phone for now about 45 days or so, which is kind of strange for me because I do just change the phone if I don't like it. I'm very, very impressed with this phone. Just loving it. Uh, so let me just move to the next question. Um, this this is by Joeb Das. Hello, good evening. Love your videos. You are doing a great job. Thank you, Joeb. I have a first generation Intel Core i5 based Windows 7. That's a PC. He's talking. Sorry, laptop with 4 GB of RAM. It can play 1080p videos, 30 frames per second videos perfectly, but the video playback is laggy when I play 1080p videos at 60 frames or more. What is the problem? Joab, what kind of graphic card do you have on your laptop? That is kind of important when pushing very heavy graphics. People just concentrate a lot on the processor, but they don't concentrate on the GPU. The GPU is also equally important. So check the GPU. It might be that, and also, and if you can locate the GPU if it's made by NVIDIA or ATI, I would suggest that upgrade the drivers. But if your GPU is very weak, then yes, definitely it might not be able to play that high content video, or even for that example, the 4K videos. I hope that helps you. This is by Narin Pai. Hi, sir. Like your videos. My battery on the Moto X is draining very quickly since the 4.4.2 update. I've tried all battery saving apps, but none work. Is it a software problem? Narin, this is by Narin Pai. Yes, Narin Pai. I also noticed that issue with the Moto X, and I checked a lot of forums. People were saying that prior to this 4.4.2 update, the battery life on the Moto X was very good. But when I purchased the Moto X in India, it came pre-installed with the 4.4.2 update. And yes, the battery life is kind of pretty average, just like the Nexus 5. You got to charge it every day, otherwise it goes dead. And the standby time is an issue. In standby, it was draining a lot of battery. The new update, that is 4.4.3, is going to be released very soon for the Moto X. Actually, it has been released in some regions. I'm not very sure if it's released already in India because I no longer have a Moto X. So definitely it's a software issue because that problem started with the 4.4.2 update. So update to the 4.4.3 on your Moto X, and if you do that, and if the battery life improves, do let us know. I don't have a Moto X to check that out. So I hope that info helps. This is by Familiar Stranger, very interesting name. Hey Ranjit, this is Bunty. Okay, Bunty. Please help me choose between the HTC Desire 816, Samsung Galaxy Note 3 Neo, or the Moto X. I'm going to buy the phone next month, and I'm confused. Okay. And he says, P.S. I have to travel a lot, and I do watch a lot of movies and TV series on my phone. In terms of internet and gaming, I am a moderate to below moderate user. So according to Bunty, he likes to watch a lot of video, etc. So definitely, I would say large screen size device is more beneficial. And among the three that you have given, the HTC Desire 816, Note 3 Neo, and the Moto X, I would say go with the Galaxy Note 3 Neo. I hope that helps. This is by Pratik Apte. What are your opinions on the Snapdragon 805 versions of LG G3 and the Galaxy S5? Yes, the new, current flagship for Qualcomm is the Snapdragon 801 that we find on this HTC One M8 and even the Galaxy S5 that is sold in US and Europe. But Qualcomm is releasing this new processor, that is the Snapdragon 805, very soon, hopefully by next or month or so. And yes, we are going to see some new variants of Galaxy S5, that is the Galaxy S5 Prime with the Quad HD display and the new Snapdragon 805 processor. Even LG G3, that is currently going to be next month, it's going to launch in India, is going to come currently with the Snapdragon 801 processor. But LG has also hinted that they'll release one more variant of the LG G3 with the Snapdragon 805. And the biggest advantage of Snapdragon 805 is, yes, apart from the slight bump in processing speed, is the new GPU. That's the Adreno 420 GPU. According to Qualcomm, I heard in some article, it's almost 50% faster than the Adreno 330 GPU. And again, it is ideal for running quad HD displays that we are going to see on the Galaxy S5 Prime and the LG G3. So yes, we will see high-end devices with the Snapdragon 805 in the next couple of months. This is by Rajesh TG. Can we get audiophile sound from mobile phone? If so, which one do you recommend? Brand, OS, and price is not an issue. A very interesting question by Rajesh. Rajesh, again, for audiophile sound, the biggest thing is the headphones that you use. Don't use the bundled headphones that you get. They're rubbish and garbage. I'm not a big audiophile. I do not spend lakhs and lakhs on audio gear. I like these. These are the Grado SR60. Very good entry level audiophile headphones. I just love these compared to the Skull Candies, etc. The moment you listen to it's on another level. And now coming to your actual question, I found that the audio quality that in general smartphones, the audio quality that I got from this HTC One M8 was brilliant. I won't say it is as good as a dedicated high-end amp that you can connect to a computer, but the quality is very good. And this HTC One M8 does have a dedicated amplifier. So in terms of audio quality, I would say this HTC One M8 produces very clean audio. Don't enable that stupid the bass boost or whatever they have. It is rubbish. If you just disable that, then the audio quality via this HTC One M8 was very good. I hope that helps you. But again, you've got to invest in a very good high quality headphones to get good audio quality. Otherwise, if you're using those ordinary ones, you won't notice any difference. So let me just move to the next question, and just give me a second, guys. This is by Vinayak. Hi, sir. Very good evening. I follow your videos and love them. Thank you, Vinayak. Sir, I'm planning to buy a router. I think so. He is suggesting Wi-Fi router, but I'm on a tight budget, rupees 1,000 rupees. Can you please suggest some basic and routers under rupees 1,000? Vinayak, under 1,000, I would say have a look at this TP-Link N150 router. I don't know the current price of it. It was hovering around 800 rupees. It's a very decent router for the price. It's the TP-Link N150, if I'm recalling, and I think so. I did review the earlier models. I don't know, have reviewed about 2 years ago, so it might be an old model, but that performed pretty well. So you can check that out. Also, I don't know if Asus has a budget-oriented router under the rupees 1,000 mark. Check that out. Asus also produces some very good Wi-Fi routers. So I hope that helps. This is by Arthav Deshmukh. He asks us, hi Ranjit, any signs of LG G3? I did contact LG India, and they said that the LG G3 will be launching only next month in India. They did not give a specific time frame or date, just said next month in India. This is by Amrit Sinha. Hello, sir. You're doing a great job. My question to you is, now that the Xperia SP is available for around 16,000 is a better option than the LG L90, or why do you recommend the LG L90 or some other phone? The problem with the Xperia SP is the screen quality of the Xperia SP is not that great. If you just tilt the phone this little bit also, and I feel on a smartphone, the display quality is a big thing, because the display is the thing that you look at it 70% of the time, and if you just tilt it a little bit, it completely fades away. Also, I don't recall, but in the battery life also, the Xperia SP was not that stellar. Hence, at the 16,000 price band, currently I recommend the LG L90. I hope that info helps. This is by Rahul Krishna. Here, Ranjit, doing a good job. Thank you, Rahul. Please let me know which is better, the Lumia 525 or the Lumia 630, and why. The biggest difference between the Lumia 525 and the Lumia 630, this is the 630 I have, is the 630 has a slightly larger screen, that is a 4.5-inch screen, and it has a quad core processor, whereas the Lumia 525 has a dual core processor with 1 gig of RAM. The advantage of Lumia 525 as of now is some of the games, if you're a big time gamer, then the Lumia 525 might be a better bet for you, because some of the other games, for example, Modern Combat 4, Nova 3, currently are not compatible with this Lumia 630 due to the fact that it has just 512 MB of RAM. But if you do not play any games, then definitely I would say, or casual games you play, you can just check out the video that I made about the Lumia 625 about gaming. Yes, even this can play a lot of games like even Asphalt, etc. So if gaming is not the highest priority, I would say the Lumia 630 wins, because it has a slightly better display, I would say, and it has a quad-core processor, which is actually a little bit faster compared to the Lumia 525. In fact, Asphalt 8, when I compared on the Lumia 525 and the Lumia 630, the frame rate was much more smoother on this Lumia 630 thanks to that quad-core processor. So I hope that info helps. This is by Sailor Om. Which is better, Note 3 or the S5, compared as per performance and battery? Battery, okay. Both I'll talk about the Samsung Galaxy S5 Exynos version that is sold in India, because I did not check the Qualcomm version of S5. Both the Note 3 and the S5 that is sold in India are the Exynos version. In terms of battery life, I would say definitely the Note 3 has better battery life. But in general performance, both of them perform very well. But again, in hardcore gaming, very hardcore gaming, I would say, both of these do not do that great because of that Mali GPU. And some of the high-end games do stutter a little bit. I don't blame the phones. It's just that the GPU that they're using, the Mali 6X series of GPU, these developers are not just concentrating too much on that. So in terms of battery life, definitely still the Note 3. I hope that helps you. This is by Vastal Shah. Sir, according to you, which phone do you prefer, the Moto G or the Lumia 630, after overall performance of the both device? I still prefer the Moto G over this Lumia 630. So let me just take the next question. This is by Nirvan Agarwal. We get similar questions I've answered, but again, let me take this. This is an age-old question that I get. So companies make phones, and when they release new ones, they stop Android updates for their old phones. For example, the Xperia M or the Galaxy S3 will not get any Android updates. Why is it so? It's just business. These companies, for example, Samsung, Sony, LG, all of these, generally they only update their high-end phones, I've noticed, and that also the high-end phones for about 18 to 20 months or so. HTC now has come out and said that they will update most of their flagship devices for at least 2 years. But again, yeah, Samsung generally I've noticed for their high-end devices, they do provide updates for about year and a half. But sadly now S3 is almost more than 2 years old, so they have stopped releasing updates for that. So that's the case with it. If you really want continuous updates for a long time, it's best to stick with Nexus devices. I hope it's just pure business, because guys, just remember, if they continuously keep updating their old phones, why will a person buy a new device? I know it's cheap business tactics, but that's the way business goes here. So let me just move to the next question. This is by Akshay Pandey. Sir, please suggest me a decent Android phone around the rupees 40,000 mark. One good battery and camera. Oh, camera is important. And or shall I wait for the HTC E8 to come? HTC E8 is the cheaper version of the, I would say, M8. Internals are the same, but it does not have this beautiful metal body. It's a plastic body device. HTC India hasn't hinted when it's going to launch this E8 in India. Or at what price, but I heard some rumors, guys. These are just rumors. Maybe they will launch it next month or so, and expected best price, what I heard from the rumors, is around 35,000. As of now, for 40,000, if you want a good camera, overall a decent device, now the price of this Samsung Galaxy S5, the Exynos version, has fallen down to 36,000, and I would say at that price, it's a very good phone. The camera, specifically on the Galaxy S5, that 16 megapixel ISO cell is fabulous. Just look at the camera review that I did for the Galaxy S5 on my channel. Some of the pictures that it could take were fabulous, and the HDR mode on that is blazingly fast, and it's one of the best implementations that I've seen of HDR mode. So in terms of camera at that price, definitely the Galaxy S5 is my bet. And now that the S5 in India is available for around 37,000, it's a good bet, I would say. So let me just move to the next question. Uh, This is by Aman Chaudhary. Views about camera performance of the HTC One M8. Aman, just stay tuned to my channel. I already shot the camera review for this HTC One M8. I'll post it soon. The thing is that the problem with this HTC One M8 is that the auto mode, the dynamic contrast is very crazy on it. You can get some very great shots, and I've learned with this. Now I have this device for over 45 days, so I have learned how to get good shots. You can get some very good shots with it, but the dynamic contrast, and sometimes it just goes haywire. So just stay tuned to my channel. I will be producing the camera review for this HTC One M8 very soon. This is by B Kishan. Hi sir, my friend wants to buy a mobile which is in the budget between rupees budget around 10,000. He says, which is better to choose between the Samsung Galaxy S Duos 2 or the S Duos? Again, I do not frankly recommend both the device. Don't even think about the Galaxy S Duos. It is a very laggy device. In fact, even the Galaxy S Duos 2, which is the newer variant, also exhibits a little bit of lag. So if you are okay with that lag, yes, you can go with it. The camera on the Galaxy S Duos 2 is actually pretty decent for the price. So if camera is a priority, yes, you can go with the Galaxy S Duos 2, but be prepared for the lag. If camera is not a highest priority to you, then definitely under 10,000 still, I would recommend this. What is this? This is the Moto E. In terms of performance, it performs brilliantly. It's very smooth. It runs very smooth. So again, just decide what is important for you. If camera is the highest priority, is Duos 2. If camera is not the highest priority, the camera on this Moto E is not that great. So decide what you want. This is by Uday Prakash. I want to know which one is better for gaming, Galaxy S Duos 2 or the Galaxy Core. Definitely the Galaxy Core is better. Uday, the thing is that the Galaxy Core version 2 is also going to soon launch in India. Again, we don't know the pricing. So if you can wait for a couple of weeks, wait, because the Galaxy Core 2 will launch, and I'll definitely try to do the review for that device. Uh, so it's over what, 33 minutes, and I got this is a crazy question by Karthik Sharma. Do you work for Faisal Communication? No, I don't work for Faisal Communication. Why do you think? I purchase products from him. I'm just a, what do you say, one of their good customers. I give them a lot of business, but I do buy stuff from them generally because I've been buying stuff from them for a long time, so they do give me a good amount of discount sometimes, but I don't work for them. Okay, let me just take the last couple of questions because it's over 30 minutes now. This is by Anshul. I used the BSNL broadband. It was not giving me much speed for the last 2-3 days. Then I changed the DNS server in my router settings, which is the best DNS server according to you. Also, I have read somewhere that the Google 8.8.8 DNS is fastest. Yes, the BSNL speeds fluctuate a lot. Yes, you can improve DNS lookup times by changing it to a custom DNS. Google, as you have already mentioned, the Google DNS is a good option. It's a free option. Its IP is 8.8.8.8, and in fact, I actually use Google DNS. As primary and my secondary as my ISP. So yes, try changing to the Google DNS, and also with the BSNL broadband. If you know, if you are a little bit tech savvy, Do also change the MTU. Sometimes the MTU also can cause issue. Try MTU of 1460, 1475 and see if it improves. So this is by Varun Singh. Why Moto G in India? I think so. He didn't frame the question correctly. He says the Moto G in India and the Android update 4.4.3 hasn't come, and so let me talk about the Moto G 4.4.3 update. The thing is with the Moto G that is sold in India is that we are not getting the standard international version. The one we have is the dual SIM variant. We will definitely get the 4.4.3 update even for the Moto G dual SIM that is sold in India, and that's going to come out somewhere by end of this month or the next month. And it is also going to come out for this Moto G also. So and he says that he's getting hairline scratches. I don't think so. I got any scratches like that. But if you are worried, on the screen I never got any scratches on the Moto G, and even for this Moto E I don't have any scratches. I don't use any screen guard. But if you are a kind of a rough user, then yes, you can put that plastic screen guard. So let me just again, this is again I get this question a lot. Let's take it. I know some of you might be annoyed because I've answered this hundreds of times. This is by Samir. When will the OnePlus One be going to launch in India and in what price? Samir, the OnePlus One is not going to launch in India. Just forget about it. It's just a hype. Even in the 8 odd countries that it has been released, it's not available, and they just released 1,500 units for that 8 countries. So just forget it about it. It's just the hype about that product. The product is just not available, and it's not going to launch in India. So again, that was the what do you say 45th live Q&A session. I just went over 35 minutes, guys. So I'll be ending this session, and again I'll be doing this next Tuesday. We do this on Tuesday at 7 p.m. India time. So the next Tuesday is 24th of June. So we'll be doing this session again on Tuesday at 7 o'clock India time. So thank you for joining me on this 45th session, and I hope that you'll be able to join me next week also. Thank you. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.